On this week's show, we've got a slight change of plans. We're going to spray this board a different color. So a friend of mine came to me and asked me to build him a board. So we discussed what he wants to have, and here we are. We are in the middle of building him a board. He's decided his color scheme and what he wants to paint onto it. But now, surprise, surprise, things have changed, and he's sadly leaving the country. So with a heavy heart, I accept his gift. He's given me the board. Now, I'm not really the yellow and orange fan, so I've got my own ideas what I want to, or how I want to paint it, and I think I'm going to paint it black, and I'm going to give it a silver pinstriping. So the first step is I'm going to take my setup outside, because I never spray paint indoors, always spray paint outdoors, and I'm just going to get to it. Brought my setup back into the shed because it is better to let paint cure in the shade and not directly in the sun, especially with the black absorbing all the heat. It might not be such a nice curing process. Now what I'm going to do is just check for a couple of areas that still need attention, and then I'm going to let it cure for a couple of hours. So it's actually a couple of days later, not a couple of hours later, and my plan is now to put the silver pinstriping onto the black board. I have one of these Posca pens, Uni Posca pens, and I want to draw a silver pinstriping into the ridge, or the original ridge that we made when we did the first pinstriping. So we do have a little bit of a ridge here that I could follow, but I think I'm not going to manage freehand. My idea was to put the pen actually down and let the pen run along the corner of the ridge. I think it's better for me to make a little rig where the pen sits in and that I actually can follow the edge of the board while I'm drawing the pinstripe. So here's my little rig. This is just a piece of foam that I've got off the actual cut-offs of this board. So my idea is to run the corner of the rig along the side of the board whilst the pen is giving me a straight pinstripe. I just hope it's going to work the way I'm thinking. The only thing I've got right now is that the pen actually has a bit of movement. I'm going to just put some tape around here until it's secure, and then I'm going to try and do the best job I can. Okay, so I've wrapped a bit of tape around the pen. I'm going to position it. It's a bit of a tighter fit, it doesn't move so much. So now all I need to do is run my pinstriping. There's always an issue. Everybody always looks at the nose. Just messed that up. Really messed that up. There we go. So that did work quite well. The only thing is there are a couple of areas that I'm not happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie my tape in here, stick it down, spray paint the area, pull the tape back up, and I should have all those little mistakes taken care of. So you can see there are a few mistakes that I have. So I've laid the pinstripe tape into the grooves, or the existing grooves from the previous pinstripe. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to blow over it just to darken them in a little bit, and then once that's dry I will pull the tape off. That's it. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to pull off the pinstriping tape, and then I should have the perfect silver pinstripe in there. So it has dried, it hasn't cured yet. So what I'm going to do now is pull it off and hope for the best. Beautiful. It's actually exactly how I hoped it would turn out. It's like 98% there. There are just a couple of spots here that I am just going to touch up by hand. It looks a bit better. Other than that, so there you go, pinstriping with a Posca pen, or Posca pen, however you want to pronounce it. Although my rig was running parallel to the edge of the board, the pen wasn't doing a parallel line to each other, so it would get thicker and thinner. So after putting the pinstriping tape on it, respraying it, the lines are now parallel to each other, and I'm actually quite happy with the result. Just gonna have to wait for this to cure out completely so I don't have any shadows in it, and then we're ready for hot coating. So that's going to be in upcoming videos, so subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, give me a like, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.